going over any kind of curve.
Oh, keep watching.
It's gone. There's nothing there now.
Yeah, it's got the exposure wrong there, Terrell.
Isn't it supposed to be
it's
3,000
exposure
miles
now.
up?
The exposure now. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can clearly
How's it
see it's
right
just
on the
a normal
horizon line
sunset.
when it's 3,000 miles up? That
No,
seems
you
strange.
said this set's like a normal sunset.
It does.
Go to like the 14 or 15 minute mark.
What, does it come back up again?
Keep
Go to
watching.
the 14 or 15 minute mark.
You keep rewinding to the same bit, Randy.
What we're looking at here, the after sun that I see all the time when I take footage.
The after sun.
After sun.
What even is that?
Apparent sun disk.
So, you know, do you ever go out and actually look at stuff?
Yeah, play about 11 to 13 minutes.
Why would I want to play 11? The sun's gone. Do you think that's actually still the sun there?
Go back a bit.
Yeah, that's stepped down too far, that footage.
It's not there. It's not there. It's not there.
Too far. Do we need to put that one on?
Yeah,
It's not there. It's not there.
There it is.
It's not there. It's not there.
As you go,
There
French,
it
I'll
is.
tell you.
That's not fading away, mate. That's going behind.
Watch this.
He's drastically underexposed that. He's using the wrong filter, as Dawn
Watch
suggested.
this.
Underexposed would make it
Fading,
darker, you Burke.
Fading, fading, fading. It doesn't set at all. It just disappears.
Step down too
I
far.
saw it set.
That's stepped down about
There
8
we go.
steps.
Disappeared.
Get your girlfriend.
Disappeared.
Underexposed is going to give you a dark image.
It is a dark image.
So you're saying that the underexposed nature of this image is making that sun not do what it should do, right?
It makes it.
It's
Makes
making the picture inaccurate.
It makes it look more like a fade rather than a set.
Really? Have you got any evidence to support this claim of drastically
Go and
underexposed?
ask your girlfriend about underexposing pictures.
Yeah, I understand the concept. I'm asking you, does it cause the effect you're claiming it does?
Yes.
Any evidence for that?
Well,
No.
you should do it without a filter and then close the iris. You'll get the same effect. It will look like a large object going to a small object to a fade.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal link in the info box below the video once it's rendered. But most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below the video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by the boss, the Plain Truth, Sleeping Warrior, Ranty Flat Earth, Mark Doxy, FE Viking, Dawn Treader, Arwin, and Alan. Good to have you all.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello.
Dawn.
It's actually still morning for
Could
me,
you
so
pop
good
me
morning.
on screen share, please, Nathan, because I want to address Dawn with his comment from the last hangout, which he attacked Dearth.
Yeah, go ahead.
That
You're on.
the sun's so he said that the sun actually set in this 4K footage, right? So I brought up the exact time when the sun disappears, and it will just play the video from here. And obviously, if you've got a small screen, you probably not see this, so I suggest you watch it back. But the sun does not actually set; it does the same thing. It just disappears, disappearing. It's fading, it's fading, it's fading, and now it's gone. That has not set in the normal fashion, what we call as a sunset. So again, dishonesty.
No,
Just
wrong
come in,
filter.
ad homs, calling out
Just keep
people
watching
without
this
evidence.
bit, Randy. Play the bit where you suddenly see the sun disk disappeared from the bottom.
It's gone. There, it's gone now.
Where's
It's
the light
literally
coming
just
from?
gone. What do you mean? Where's the light coming from? You mean the light above it?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a sunset?
I've seen the sun disk.
Right, let me show you a sunset. Let me show you a sunset.
Do you use the correct filter?
Let me show you a sunset.
Oh my god.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, look at this.
No
What's this
solar
above it?
filter and not in focus.
What's this above?
Those are clouds that are being
What
lit
do
from
you mean
the
not in
bottom.
focus? Right, can I just ask a question? Dawn Treader put in, whilst we're offline, Dawn said, ND16 is too dark. But there was a criticism earlier on that it wasn't a solar filter, which apparently is much darker.
No,
So-
solar filter, Tony, cuts out different frequencies.
Right, but it makes it a lot darker, does it not?
No,
Yes, it does.
no, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
Hey,
it
Ranty,
does.
can I respond to that photograph?
Go and get your girlfriend.
No, you're full of shit. You can't argue that an ND16 is too dark and then argue that the solar filter is what he needs to have, which is a lot darker.
An ND filter 16 will take you down about 6 stops.
Right.
Hey, Ranty,
Solar
why? I have an explanation as to why
on a
those
second.
clouds
I'm
over
not
there seem
interested
to
in
be
your
lit
Do you
up.
let
Don't-
Alan
don't-
speak?
don't
Arwen,
address it.
Ranty, just let Alan give his explanation.
The solar filter cuts out different frequencies.
No, it doesn't. It reduces the light in different levels.
No,
It's a contradiction in terms to claim that an ND16 is too dark, but then criticize him for not
Tony.
using solar filter.
Tony, do you accept that things operate at different frequencies?
Do you? No, that's not the context that we're talking about. We're talking about the amount of light as a.
Context I'm talking about.
I don't care what you're talking about. We're talking about ND filters which block light at different levels, different amounts.
Well, an ND16 is about 8 stops.
Yeah, but you can't argue that ND16 is too dark if a solar filter should have been the one that he used in the first place. It's a contradiction.
Kind of, but it's for different reasons.
No.
If we're going to settle on him
So he's
using
damned if he
ND
does and
filter-
damned if he doesn't, right?
No, no.
Hold on. What should
Kind of.
Alan? Just tell him what you feel should be done and why it's been done wrong.
The reason why the picture is not accurate is because he's used an ND16 filter, which has lowered the exposure. I've no idea what lens he's got on, but it's caused the focus and darkness of the picture to be underexposed, so therefore not accurate.
So, are you saying that
probably
the
just-
underexposure is the cause of the sun fading
Yes.
out? Well, it
Yes.
gets the same when it's completely unfiltered.
Where is it? Where's the unfiltered version?
But
Ranty-
also, if you're going to
hold
argue
on,
underexposure,
hold on.
you
That's
can't
fair
argue
cop.
solar
Fair
filter.
cop. We have shown it
Yeah,
on this
it's
show.
different issues, Riley.
So
No.
solar filter does different things, Tony.
Hold on.
Yeah, it works.
Hold on, Anthony. I just want to get Alan's argument pegged. So he's saying that the filter is filtering too much, causing the exposure levels to give an inaccurate result. Correct?
No, it's underexposing the image.
Okay. So when it's unfiltered, would the same effect apply, or would you have the same argument if it was unfiltered and showed the same thing?
If you're going to take pictures of the sun, you need a solar filter to correctly.
But Dawn says an ND16 is too dark, but a solar filter is significantly darker, apparently. So
Well,
it seems
I'd
a
rather
bit
listen to
unfair to be
Alan.
able to
I
use-
don't care
But they
what
do
Dawn's got to
different
say.
things.
They do different things,
No,
Tony.
they don't. They both block out light. So you were
No,
more.
Tony.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
they use different
No, explain
frequencies.
this.
No, they
Explain
don't.
this then.
They block out
Tony,
more light.
Tony. As much as I love you, you're wrong.
Alan,
Well,
you
that
can't
means
argue,
he's right because you don't.
you can't
know that.
argue that he should have used a solar filter and then argue that an ND16
Tony,
is
I've
too
got
dark.
both. I know the results. I've got many pictures wrong in the past.
Alan,
Well,
it's
you
a
haven't presented any at all, ever.
I'm just telling you,
Well, yeah, you
Don't
you
tell
talk
us.
the
Tell us
talk, but you
what's
don't
true.
walk the walk.
I can walk the walk.
Well, prove it. Show us. Get some of your stuff out. Let's see what you've done.
Why do you want to see that?
Well, don't come in and be an expert then. If you haven't got anything to back it up with.
Well, I've read the manual.
Well, what?
Well,
can,
why
can
aren't you
we think of
answering my
something productive real quick? Can we think of something productive to do real quick in terms of offering a suggestion for David? I mean, if he's got to
be
use
honest,
three,
I'd like to get closure on why an ND filter 16 would be too dark, but a solar filter would be acceptable. That's a
Because they
complete
block
contradiction.
light in different ways.
They
Don't
work
give
on
a shit
different
whether it blocks it with monkeys or not.
They
The
work
point
on
is, the
different
ND
frequencies.
filter at 16 is a fraction of the darkness of the solar filter. So you can't argue that the solar filter would be desirable and then claim that the ND filter at 16 is too dark.
I can.
No, you can't.
Sorry, Tony.
Okay, wait, Tony. Okay, Tony, why can't you? Okay, instead of going back and forth, why
Well,
can't
to
you?
quote one of the ballers claims that it's only just darker than his sunnies, but a solar filter is significantly darker because it blocks more light out. So you can't argue that the solar filter will block out more light, therefore he should have used it to get rid of the glare, but then say that an ND16 is too dark, because they're opposing arguments. They're a contradiction.
No.
Yeah, they're both issues with his footage.
No, they're not. You can't have them both.
You can.
No, you can't.
Don't cry, Tony.
Right.
Go on,
Goodbye, Alan.
Okay, I mean, I tried to say earlier that I didn't want to get into this filter argument on account of the fact that it would not change the fact that it's slipping behind Earth if it's setting behind Earth, and it fades out. So none of these filter arguments change the direction of sun and what's obscuring it. And in this case, nothing. Tumbleweed when I say these things.
No, they've gone.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I've kicked both of them because they're both pricks. You can't argue that he should have used a solar filter and then claim that the ND16 is too dark. They are contradictory statements. They're opposite. So in other words, what they're arguing is that Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole would have been criticised for using a solar filter because it's too dark, as well as criticising for using an ND filter because it's too dark. So what's he meant to do? Use none and then get criticised for not putting a filter on? You can't have it both ways. You either have a filter on and accept that it's underexposed because that's what they do, or you don't put the filter on and accept that you're going to get a bit of glare. So it's one or the other. You can't have both. It's disingenuous. It really is disingenuous. It's not acceptable to argue both sides.
And then Nathan's point is that regardless of which filter you're using, the object itself is the issue that we're observing, and that doesn't change. Right, Nathan? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, the angular size change you could argue, but the travelling distance you can't argue.
Tony.
Bye, Alan. I'm not having you come on, make a contradiction, and claim that in somehow I'm wrong. You can't have it both ways. He either uses a filter and it's underexposed, which is what you're demanding he does, or he doesn't use a filter and it's not underexposed, but you've got glare. But you can't have it both ways. The guy can't be damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. It's disingenuous to argue that. Ridiculous.
An ND
Alan,
filter
disingenuous?
covers the...
No, that can't be.
An ND filter only filters the
just
visible
booted me,
spectrum.
dude.
Dawn, you put inside chat that ND16 is too dark, but one of your first points was that it was the wrong type of filter.
Yeah, can I just explain my point? I agree with Nathan. If we're not looking at the size of the sun, then the solar filter you can discount. But if you want to look at whether it's fading away or going behind the horizon, I think an ND16 is too dark.
Right, but your first point was...
Hold on, that's fine. So he's got it unfiltered, and it does the same thing.
Okay. I mean, I'm even willing to give you it fades away on his footage if you want.
We can see that. It's visually bloody obvious. What you're saying is, I'll give you that what is in the images is in the images. Well, thank you so much. I didn't believe the evidence of my own eyes until you came along, Dawn. Thank you. Yeah, we're not asking that, dumbass. We're asking why. Why is it fading out? Not that it fades out. I don't need a concession for what I can see with my own eyes.
We tried to give you answers, mate. Maybe
they're all crap. All crap. None of them account for why an Earth isn't getting in the way, Dawn.
Okay, so one time you've got a fading away sun.
No, multiple. Didn't you just listen? You said the filter was wrong. It was. I've just explained that he's got multiple observations of this, unfiltered.
Four times by one guy.
Yeah,
didn't you
the only guy looking at it.
Didn't you see my footage? Didn't you see where the actual sun is above the actual lensing of the sun? Did you not see that in the images?
I just think to say the statement, the sun never sets on a flat Earth, you have to, look at all the other sunsets and how it goes pitch dark every night. Not just one person's footage of a fading out sun.
Proximity.
I'm pretty certain he's going to be able to repeat this observation.
Doesn't
the other
prove
thing
the
is,
sun
did you
moving
hold on?
away.
Did you see
The angular
yesterday?
speed remains perfectly consistent. It's just an optical phenomena, just like the sun is itself.
If you try,
there's not proximity, Owen.
Hold on,
If you try
Dawn.
hard
So
enough, you can
can I just have 10 seconds with Dawn? Right. So Dawn, did you see yesterday where we showed Zachary Zabala, Good Times for All, GUD, number 4, TIMS, ALL? Did you see his video with the 2 paint cans?
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. I'll give you a brief explanation. So he has 2 paint cans that are on the floor, standing on their edge. They're like the lids. They've got little circles drawn on them, and he just backs away from the paint cans and sees an artificial horizon develop below, and then you start to see the bottom of the paint cans disappearing with a reflection or an inverted mirage underneath. Now, can you see what's on screen right now?
Yes.
Right. So we have the same effect with the sun. I would argue that the sun, which would have to be local and small in order for this effect to happen, I would have to assert that in order to make this claim, but it is reaching the same point as those paint cans, being converged with the horizon. In other words, it is an angular size reduction at distance. Sound familiar?
The sun has an angular size change at distance.
Yeah, in other words, it's too far to see and disappears as a net effect. And when you see it happen at the horizon when you're on the ground, you see this effect, where it converges. However, if you're at altitude, it seems you don't. That's why our question is, why?
Right. So the circle of confusion and the convergence thing, that works for the sunsets as well.
Seems to. It's got an effect of it on screen now.
For all optical phenomena.
Otherwise, why do you explain...
Owen disagrees it's proximity.
Do you agree that there's not 2 suns in this picture? There is just one.
Yes.
So what's the thing on the bottom?
It looks like a reflection of the bottom bit.
Yeah, like the paint cans and lots of other things we see disappearing bottom first.
Yeah.
Well, not all
Yeah,
things that
so it doesn't
bottom
actually
first
have to
reflection.
reach behind the Earth. It doesn't have to be blocked by the Earth. It can just go further and further away, and the effect will be the same. Like a mountain, getting further away from it means it gets closer to the horizon. It doesn't mean the mountain actually drops. It's just closer to the horizon. The sun does the same. Tumbleweeds. There's the evidence on screen. It's reaching that convergence
I think I've
point.
run out of ways to challenge you.
Well, there's
Convergence
not much you can.
causes nighttime, I guess.
We're talking about pictures and videography. It's not like you can challenge this. Your concession was that it does what it does in the video, which we all could see.
Proximity and convergence causes nighttime.
Yeah, the sun goes far away.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds silly, but...
Water tower.
Who's got their audio on? Who's playing something?
I mean, if you just keep that sentence like that, convergence and proximity causes nighttime. You don't have to explain it anymore. You just tell people that, and they either believe you or they don't.
Sure.
Most of them won't.
Well, no. Or I present something on screen like this with an explanation for what's occurring.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing, Dawn. It's not just word salad. That's why I asked you to look at what's on screen. We're giving you several examples of this. This is at the ground, and this is the net effect. In the air, it seems to be different. So we've given you an explanation. You're like, we see sunsets all the time. It goes behind the Earth. Well, no. This sun isn't going behind the Earth. It is definitely reaching a convergence point, the circle of confusion. There is definitely an inverted mirage below it. All those things are visually obvious. But you would assert that it's gone behind Earth, right?
Not yet, but
what do you mean not yet? We've got an inverted mirage of it. So what gives?
That doesn't mean it doesn't go behind the horizon, does it?
But the horizon is above that.
Inverted mirage doesn't debunk Earth curve.
Well, no, it shows something that could cause it to be obstructed if it was getting further away, which is what we assert.
I don't think upside down mirages prove that it converges.
Well, that's what happens at the convergence point, as demonstrated on literally countless occasions.
Alright, so I'll give you that convergence and proximity causes nighttime. I wondered if we could speak about those pink Lego bricks sellotaped to the exercise ball. Because
Sure.
I saw the video and I didn't come on and talk about it.
Yeah, you can talk about that if you want.
Is that meant to represent different sets of buildings at different angles round a curve because they're all built level?
Well, your claim is that they're built level. They can't be if they're built on a curve. But yeah, based on the fact that you guys think that they can look flat when they're curving, I put 2 flat Lego bricks, one after the other, on a curve. And you can see from an observer position that one is going more curved than the other because there's a build-up of curve on a ball.
But you realise that the scale part of that video makes it like almost a joke.
Oh, really? I thought I'd got it to scale on an exercise ball with giant Lego.
All right, but you didn't say in the description this is just a lol because...
Oh, really? I should have put in the description not to scale, because most people are idiots, are they?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is what you're saying. You're saying it wasn't to scale. I don't need it to be scale to demonstrate that stuff can get more curved, even though it's a flat piece of Lego brick, if it goes further over the curve. It's simple.
You realise how big buildings would actually be on that exercise ball, right? Like germs, or smaller.
Nate, can I just remind you what Ruif said about the, you know, when Ruif lied? He said that, well, you didn't say that about in this picture, and then you had to play the clip back where he said in this picture. But at the time, you asked him, did I have to expressly state in this picture? Or were you just, you know, because he was being really pedantic. It seems that perhaps Dawn's being pedantic over the scale point. It goes without saying it wasn't to scale, Dawn. Come on.
Okay, yeah, it's not, the scale's just the first funny bit I wanted to mention. Apart from that, the scale comes into my objection is obviously the Earth's very big, so you can still build at 90 degrees and it be curved. You don't have to build 3 buildings and then go onto another level plane and build another 3 buildings and then go onto another level plane to go around the curve. Because Earth's big.
Sorry, Dawn. If it's
buildings
curved,
are small, if you didn't
it's
realise.
curved, it's curved.
Yes, buildings are built level with the Earth, 90 degrees, and they end up curving.
No, they don't.
Bigger scale.
No, they don't. That's what our picture of reality shows, that they absolutely are not curving, but they should. That's why I did a not to scale demonstration of things that appear flat going further over a curve.
Yeah. So
yeah. So while you can claim that in a small isolated section it's flat, but overall it's a ball, and then we show that in a small section it's flat, and then a section further away that should be more curved is not curved in any way, shape or form, that shows that it's flat, Dawn.
Dawn, let me
like a rainbow.
Say something real quick.
Angles per building.
Sorry, what are you talking about now? Rainbows?
Well, you know, the top of a skyline. Do you imagine that to curve round in an arc?
Sorry, we are talking about specific things built on the curve, alleged curve of the
Imagine
Earth.
a big city, huge city, not New York skyline. Do you expect that to curve over like a rainbow?
No, because the Earth's flat as a pancake. It's all surveyed and built flat.
Would you expect
Dawn, flat?
It's all built
Dawn,
flat.
Let's just, can we just address this one issue, Dawn? Your suggestion that the cityscape is going to curve is only due to the math. You don't have any demonstrable proof of this.
I'm not suggesting it. I'm asking Nathan if that's what he expects on a globe.
It's okay. You know what? Listen, it's what's frustrating is you're asking someone who doesn't believe the Earth curves if something should curve. Okay, your question is ridiculous. It's absurd.
No, I'm trying to
yes, it
understand
is.
why he made the video. What's the point? Is he joking or not?
Okay. The fact that you are asking these kinds of questions leaves us dumbfounded as to your intelligence. Because
did you see Nathan's video with the Lego?
I did. I did.
What do you think of? What do you think of it? Do you think that represents the globe model well?
I understood his point precisely and perfectly. I understood exactly what he was.
Sure. You didn't think it came off as a joke?
No, I didn't. And
2 pink Lego bricks sellotaped to a blue exercise ball didn't come across as a joke. You understood his point. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Hold on. What was my point, Dawn? Recite back to me what my point was and why it's wrong.
I would just like to point out the fact that I'm suggesting that Dawn is only suggesting that landscapes curve because of math. There's no demonstrable proof of this, and the Verrazano Bridge was something that I discussed in my video.
I'm sorry.
They don't have any proof that the Verrazano Bridge towers arc away from each other at 1 inch and 5/8, except for the math. And then we just have to read the Wikipedia article and take it for granted that they're correct. Okay, so your suggestion that a cityscape does what you say is only because that's what the math tells you.
I'm not suggesting it. I'm
Go
asking
out.
Nathan if he expects that on a globe.
You're an idiot. We don't believe it's a globe.
I know. I don't believe it's flat, but we're still having a conversation, aren't we? You're asking me questions.
Yeah, why isn't it curved? So, in the case of the wind turbines, they're at differing distances. Hi, Tim, can you hear us? Just a troll. They're at differing distances, and like the exercise ball, one is further round the curve than the other. You understand that, right, Dawn?
Yeah, it's a bit with the pylons, but obviously they don't stretch that far into the distance.
Sorry, a bit what?
I don't expect Randy's pylons.
Sorry, a bit what? You said it's a bit.
Nice
you said it's a bit. A bit what?
It's a bit like what you said on the exercise ball, but not really. Because
what specifically about the exercise ball was it like?
The windmills and the pylons, whatever you're talking about, they don't go that far into the distance, do they?
Sorry, they're further around a sphere Earth that you think you live on.
A bit.
Yes, a bit. So they're a bit more curving than the ones near to us, like on the exercise ball.
Yes, that's why half the box.
Right, so the exercise ball, pretty good example of exactly the point I was making.
No,
problem is, Dawn, if you could shut your mouth. The problem is, they don't curve at all at any distance. They only fall in line with linear perspective. Oh, he's going to talk over me when I get to the actual point. They're falling in line with perspective, Dawn. They're not.
No, they're not.
They're not curving.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, say what you like.
Here? You don't have a long enough sample size of windmills. So your demonstration with the exercise ball would be observed on the Earth if you had something to that scale that was that long.
Sorry, we have mathematics that you guys provide us that say differently, that say we should see it, and there is a difference, and it should curve.
Well,
so
no,
hold on,
because that the
hold on,
curve is
hold
so
on,
small.
Hold on,
No, you
hold on.
You hold on.
Hold on. So, what you have just said is incorrect. The mathematics say we should see a curve, and it is curving, and the curve on the ones further into the distance is more than the near ones. Are you disagreeing with that? Yes or no?
No. It's just the amount.
Excellent. So they are curving in your spherical world. The problem being they're not curving in the picture.
Because the amount is so minuscule that...
Yeah, we can measure it. Yeah, we have very sophisticated tools. We're in 2018. We have zoom. We have cameras that can get closer. We have cropping tools that can make things bigger. We can look for that curve. We did it. And we compared it to somebody who had a model of it. And what do you know? In the model, like the maths, it curved.
What about Soundly?
Sorry, did you not listen? I don't want to talk about Soundly. Don't change the subject, you little brat. Yeah?
No, I'm talking about his example of the
curve.
Boss, we did this for the past 3 days. Where have you been for the past 3 days? We've already discussed this. You are asking questions and bringing up issues we have already addressed. Go back to Sunday.
So, the problem is they fall in line with perspective. According to your maths and according to your models, which you have shown us, they curve. The problem is they don't curve.
Because it's too small to be observed.
Sorry, repeat after me. Us globehead religious zealots have shown you the models to compare. The models and the maths curve. You have agreed to this, boss.
Have you actually graphed, like on a graphing calculator, the 8 inches per square mile formula? You will see.
Sorry, does that formula produce a curve? Does 8 inches per mile squared produce a straight line or a curve?
It produces a very, very, very small curve, which is...
So it produces a curve, not a straight line. Let's just get that clear. So it does not produce a straight line.
Well,
Yes or no? Does 8-inch, does a squared function produce a straight... Shut up! Does a squared function produce a straight line? Yes or no?
No.
No. What we have in the turbines is straight lines.
When you zoom in on that graph to what the size of, let's say, a human, you will notice that the line appears to be a straight line.
Are they straight? Or do they just appear to be straight? If you zoom in and measure them, are they actually straight, or are they actually a squared function that curves?
They are actually curving.
Excellent. The pictures don't curve. How many bloody times, the boss? Yeah? A squared function gets more curvy the further you go, and we have two turbines at differing distances. They're no more curvy because they're not curvy at all. They're Nathan, a straight line.
Nathan, his position is that they are actually curving. So if you'd let me present my screen, we could check whether that's true or not.
Okie dokie. Let's have the boss show us this.
I already
shut
saw
up!
Your
shut up!
You've
shut up! Shut your mouth, you ignorant little boy. You've said they curve. Now you're going to show us. Okay? So you're going to wait for Anthony to bring up the picture of these turbines, and you're going to show us the curve. Where's the curve?
So, which one do you want to go with? The one that's got the bigger curve at the back, or the one that's got the less curve in the front but's bigger?
I guess the one in the back.
So I'll draw a line in, and you can tell me whether or not it might be a need to be. Well, that's the thinnest I can get it because I'm zoomed in quite a lot. So there's meant to be more curve on this one because it's further away. The question is, you said that there was curve. Can you show me where the curve might be?
Well, you didn't draw the line perfectly over all the tops because the ones on the right, there's barely anything on the tops, and the one on the left, there's like sticking halfway through.
So when you say over the tops, is that okay?
Oh my god, you're not supposed to see a curve like...
Yeah, it's supposed to be curving though, Dawn.
No. Sorry, let's just say it again for the audience's benefit. The ones that are big in the foreground, that's an effective perspective, something that gets ignored by ballers and their curve maths. The ones that are big, yeah, should be curving because apparently they're built on a curve. Now they don't curve, the ones that are near to us. Now we have this squared function. When we look out over a ball, the ball gets more curvy the more you look out, like on the exercise ball I showed. Yeah, it weren't to scale, but nevertheless, if it's a squared function, the further you go, the more curved it gets. So we've established that the ones in the foreground are not curved, and now we're establishing that the ones that should be even more curved than the ones that aren't curved are also not curved.
What's the distance between the pylons, or from one? Are these 7 here from one to the other?
Doesn't matter. It's the distance between your observation.
Oh my god!
It's the observation to the target, not
the cumulative
relative size.
It's not just the curve between the 2 points. It's from the focal point.
Are you not willing to tell me how far that is, or?
I think it's 22 miles. Ramsey, what is it?
From 1 to the 7th one of these on screen.
No,
now?
It's an accumulated curve, like on the exercise ball. It's clear you think it's a stupid example, Dawn, because you simply don't understand it. From our vantage point where we hold the camera, there is an accumulation of curvature from our vantage point. These ones in the distance are further around the curve than the ones in the close foreground. Therefore, should appear more curved. They don't. No. They're the same. Yeah, sure. Just you didn't perspective.
Draw the line well, that's why I was asking you. You tell me where do you want me to put the line? Is it? I mean,
okay,
let's start down here.
You have to zoom in more.
Well, I'm at 600% zoom. How far do you want me to go? Because I'm on an ultra wide screen, and I'm going to start losing it off the screen if I go much further.
Okay,
that close enough for you?
So
it's filling my page at the moment.
Okay, so take the. You only want to line it up with 2 of them. You don't want to line up the 2 on the end. So just on each end. So make sure that they are both. The line is touching the tops of the 2 on the left, barely.
No. We're checking for a curve over all of what we have. Because that's what a curve is. You need at least 3. So I don't know why you're asking for 2, but we're trying to
Because to draw a straight line, you need 2 points.
Yeah, that's right. We've got 2
points. Makes a straight line. Yeah.
One's here.
You can clearly see the curve now.
One's there. And the other one is there. And if there was a curve, you would expect these 3 in the middle to be risen above, because the ones like the one at the top up here would be part of the curve.
No. Oh my god!
I'm telling you to line it up with the 2 on the left.
So you want me to put
leftmost?
Well, it is. That's exactly 2.
Sorry,
on the corner.
Let's just ask the question again. The boss.
Riley, you're not really expecting the middle 3
Dawn,
to be.
shut up.
Right,
yeah, that's called a curve.
Dawn, shush. The boss. Can you tell me?
I have to do this on my own computer.
Sorry,
but I don't have
Dawn.
it with me.
Shut up so you can talk to boss and answer our question. Where is the curve, Anthony?
Sorry.
Where is the curvature in this picture, please?
Well, you can see it on the 2 on the right. They're not touching the line.
Don't see any curvature. I just see a
the 2 on the
straight
right,
line.
The 2 on the right aren't touching the line. They're close, but they aren't.
Okay, boss, hold on real quick. The 2 on the right are close, but they're not lined up.
They are now.
Right? Okay.
That's because you line it up that way. But now, as you can see,
okay,
the 3 on the left, excluding the 1 on the far left.
Boss.
We shouldn't be able to draw a straight line at all, ever, on a curve.
They don't
They're not all lining up.
They don't understand this, Nathan.
They'll never all line up.
Yeah, but it's supposed to.
Boss, it doesn't matter.
Now,
it doesn't matter if they're not lining up.
Boss, when we're looking over this distance, it's about 2.3 miles, Rancy. Is that about right?
Sorry, 2.3 miles from, yeah.
Something like that. And when we look at Pontchartrain, we can see that over a similar distance, I mean, maybe 4 of these things, 5 of these things is going to be, I don't know. I don't know. I know it's 16.9 miles, I think it is.
It's not a similar distance, is it?
No,
yeah, we can see curve. I mean, look.
No, Dawn's right, actually. We should really just make this clear that there should be quite a lot more curve on the turbines, because they are quite a lot further away than this Pontchartrain observation. So really, the effects of curve should really be kicking in by now.
I'm looking down the length of this.
Annie, you're not looking down the length.
Distance, that's the exact curve that you
I'm
expect.
exactly the same as where Soundly is.
No, you're not. You're nowhere.
Yes, I am.
Do I have to zoom back out so you can see?
We seem to be straying off topic. Hold on, everybody. Hold on, everybody. Why are we straying off topic? So, we've zoomed in, right in, put a line on it. There isn't any curve.
Yes, there is.
Sorry, if it's a curve working as a squared function, the back one, the one furthest away, should be considerably more curved than the one that's at the front. Now, I can't see any curve, but it should be getting...
an angle.
Shut up! It should be an increasing curve towards the one in the distance. That's what a squared function does. So the last one should be further round the curve, if we're on a sphere, which we're not, than the first one. But I don't see any curve. It's a straight line.
It's only 2.3 miles, and he's almost looking across.
No, it's the increase in distance from 20 to 23 miles from the front to the back. Not 1 to 3 miles or 0 to 3 miles. 20 to 23 miles. That's the increase. So we have a squared function that would increase the drop on the landscape as it goes further around the curvature of the Earth, if there was one. What we get is a straight line.
The 2 on the right aren't touching the straight line.
The 2 on the right are closest to us. Yeah? So what the hell are you talking about? There should be an increase of curve towards the back one if it's a squared function.
I had him line up the line with the 2 on the left, and you can see that the 2 on the right are not touching the line.
They are.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Are you blind?
I'm not blind. I'm looking at it right now, and as far as I can ascertain, I've got it on an 8-foot screen. It is enormous in my room, and they are absolutely touching the line.
I'm looking at it on my phone. They are absolutely...
You're looking at it on a bloody camera phone. I'm looking at it on a 106-inch screen. Shut up, the boss. Just shut your little mouth. Go away with your stupid little phone telling us what you can see. You got a couple of inches of screen. I've got 106 that I'm looking at it. It's absolutely perfect in a straight line.
Let me just jump in real quick to speak to Boss. I'm looking on my phone as well, and I do not see what you are suggesting. Okay, look at the angle. You are observing angle. You are not observing arc. You are not observing arc.
Yes, you are, but there is such little of it that it's hard to observe.
Sorry, we have zoomed right in. We have the technology, and there isn't any arc there.
Well, it is there. You just not.
Sorry, why are you just telling us that it is when we're absolutely ascertaining on screen that there isn't one? Don't just say there is.
It's because you're showing on the screen the.
We're not showing it on screen. Stop saying it, you double-speaking idiot. We are not showing curve on screen.
Showing blatant obstruction, exponential.
We're not showing obstruction. What are you talking about? We're showing the top half. You can't even see the sea, Dawn. Don't stutter. Shut up. Right? The boss. Where's the curve in this image?
On the two right ones. They are so close, but it's kind of hard to see, but they definitely are not touching.
Okay, Boss, let me jump in real quick. Okay, listen. If you have, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They are all the same distance. It can't just be the two right ones.
It has to be the middle three.
Okay?
He didn't line it up with the two on the ends. He lined it up with the two far left ones so that the ones on the right end would not be touching the line. That is the point that I was trying to make.
Do you not see that there's a pixel here that's clearly touching the corner that you claim is not? There.
I mean, we do this every week. I don't know how much this is going to be worth doing.
It's on that line there. That's where it's physically touching. And on that one, it's the... Oops. On that one, it's... Oops, for God's sake. This is not easy to do. It's on that one.
So what's the value of a pixel, Anthony?
I don't know, but are we get the turbines, Ranty?
Which ones?
These turbines.
So then why is the one second from the right not touching the line?
The big one, hang on, let me just see.
I think they're 90 meters to the hub.
Who cares, boss? But it's not because it's arcing away.
90 meters to the hub.
90 meters to the hub, 90 meters. That's 30. Is that 90 meters? 300.
300 feet.
300, yeah, 300 feet. And we're missing 40 feet. So 340 of 300 is, let's do some quick maths.
And boss, the point you're making would make it concave because it's going down. It's not curving up. Your
so
point
we're looking for
is
10%.
not...
We're looking for a different... Yeah, listen. The difference is 13%. So we'll call it 10. We'll round it down, give them a chance. We're looking for a different amount in height. That's 10% of the total height of the turbines. And you're arguing whether this pixel's touching or not, but you need 10%. Do you understand?
Well, if you draw a straight line
look at the bombs,
parallel to the ground...
Hold on. Right. The boss, did you listen to a word he just said? The one at the back needs to be 10% lower. It isn't, and you're arguing about a pixel. Do you understand?
Yeah, it is.
Definitely.
Draw a straight line parallel to the ground.
Sorry. There are no straight lines on a squared function.
Look at those blue lines on the first set.
Why are you telling us that we don't understand, right? If it's squared, it's producing an ever-increasing curve, and we've got straight lines.
Okay,
It's not okay. You religious zealots assert we're on a sphere. Here's the evidence. Yeah? It's not curving. There is no curve.
Right, look what I've done here. I've cut the turbine in half, and I've cut it in half again to get 25%, and cut it in half roughly again to get 13%. You need 10%, so it's the whole of the hub is the difference between what you should see at one end to the other. It should be passing the middle. So you got to get the whole hub height between the distance that we're looking at, because that represents the 40%.
Yeah, that's there in the image.
No, there's not even a pixel.
Draw a straight line. Just draw a straight line across.
Why? Don't you get it? Kid, listen. We're not drawing straight lines if the Earth is a sphere. It should curve. Why are you telling him to draw a straight line? It makes no sense. It should be curving.
So it looks like there's about 20 pixels for a head, for the turbine head. So you need a 20%, sorry, you need a 20 pixel variation to get the curve over this distance. And there isn't a single pixel difference. It's flat, it's straight.
That's because the line is angled.
What are you saying is flat? It's
You
straight.
draw a straight line.
Perspective. You understand what perspective is? That's a straight line, yeah? Perspective is a linear relationship, whereas curvature is a curve.
It isn't like completely perspective. He's not even looking down the length of them.
We are looking at perspective. Perspective.
Hold on.
Lines.
I want an acknowledgement from the boss. Right? Did you hear what Anthony just said? Perspective is linear. Curvature is curved. Do you understand that statement?
Yeah. You guys keep interrupting me after I'm trying to show him what that 13% difference is in, which you guys aren't understanding.
No, we get it.
Draw a straight line that is parallel to the ground. Okay? Okay, now move it down on top of the one on the far right. Would you not say that that is the same amount that you have described? A 13% difference, or the size of one.
But do you realize that you're arguing and demonstrating that we're seeing perspective? This should be a curve. Otherwise, if it's
no,
a straight
he
line,
used the curve calculator to get that number.
Do you understand though what perspective is?
Yes, it's an artistic term.
No, look. See these lines here? All of these lines are straight, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
So when we draw straight lines between the top of the turbines, we're showing perspective because it's straight.
No, but you just showed the same amount of drop distance that the curve calculator calculated.
It's supposed to be a curve. It can't be a straight line.
It's because it's over such a short distance that you don't have that you can't see the curve.
This kid's funny. He's starting to crack me up because he's getting annoyed, but it's fair enough. He doesn't get it. Right, we'll say it one more time, the boss. Just try and listen, okay? Right. Perspective is linear, straight lines. Curve is curved, not straight.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, when you take...
So, yeah, not yeah, just accept it. If we have a straight line, it's demonstrating perspective. If we have a curved line, it's demonstrating a curve. Simple.
Well, if you have a curved line and then look at it really close, it looks like a straight line.
No. Right. If you get in on this close, you should be able to see a curve.
No, not really.
Not really. No, not at all. We've got a straight line.
Yeah, that's because it's not a long enough distance.
According to the maths, it is. According to the maths, we've got a curved line. Yeah? According to the picture, we've got a straight line. Just listen once more. Right? A curve is not linear.
It appears to be when you look up close to it, like what you are showing on screen.
No, that's what we're showing is reality, and it doesn't have any curve. Yeah, you never have a linear curve.
That's half the distance.
What you have is something that appears to be a straight line, but is a curve that is looked up very close.
Okay, let's just do one more exercise, Anthony. Hold on. Hold on. Go back to the big turbines.
Look at the distance. Look at the difference
between
the one on the right and the one on the left.
Take a chill pill. Take a breath. Calm down. Let's just go to the big turbines, Anthony.
Hey, can I ask a question real quick, Nathan?
Yeah, go ahead.
Didn't Block by Block do this weekend? Can't we just refer Boss back to that and leave it at that and not rehash this?
Or I could send Anthony the picture from block to block. I'll just get a screen grab. Give me a second.
Because the issue is taking out the middle turbines and looking at the very first and the very last, and I thought block to block did that, at least to some degree.
Maybe
because all we're doing is this is just a tennis match. We're just going back and forth.
The exponential obstruction from the first one to the last one, maybe. How the bottom of the tower just disappears behind the curvature.
Nathan, what are we doing?
I'm sending you a screenshot, so I've just sent it to you.
Okay, so the far one, the row of the far ones is 21 to 23 miles, right?
21.4 to 23.7.
21.4 to 23.7. Okay, so
All right, you want me to open this in Paint?
Not really. Just leave it as is. I'm happy with that.
So you get a 2.3 difference.
Sorry, just to interrupt you a second, the boss. Can you see how the first ones curve less than the second ones?
We might need a straight line to help him, Nath.
We'll zoom in. Apparently, if we zoom in, we'll see less curve.
Yeah, no, I don't think you... It's not going to happen. We need a straight line, otherwise he'll not be able to see it.
He can see it all right. He's just not choosing to see it.
I don't want to give him an excuse.
No, I can see it, yeah. There's a slight difference, yeah.
Hey, that's it.
I can see that.
Thank you. Right, done. Boom.
Sorry, so we've got a concession at last. So one is more tilted than the other. One is more curved than the other. We have a squared function that causes it to have a more severe curve into the distance than the one that's close by.
Finally. Took a while, but we got him there.
Cool. Now, if you can go back to the actual image, because this guy seems to understand drawings better than real world. But there we go. Can you pop back on the... Okay. So these ones here, the boss. Yeah. If you model it out or do the maths, these have got less curve than the ones behind them. Agreed?
Well, what's the distance between the first and last one and the one on the right side?
It doesn't matter.
Is it still 2.3 miles?
They're about 15 miles into the distance at their greatest extremity.
So the furthest one's 15 miles and the closest one is how far?
13 miles, something like that. 12
13?
miles. 0.3
Okay,
of
so
a mile
it's
between
roughly
them.
the same amount. Okay, so yes, go on.
So these are curving, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the ones behind are curving more, right?
Well,
It's a yes or no question. It's gone further around the ball, and like we've just shown you in the model, one curves more than the other on a globe Earth, right?
yeah. I was just trying to pull up Google Earth
Okay,
to see
cool.
if they were
It's all right. You just have to say
exactly
yeah.
same.
Yeah, one curves more than the other, like the maths and the model say, right? Agreed?
If they're at the same angle, yes.
Right, so we've got two things. One curves more than the other because it's further away. We're all in agreement. Yes?
Well. Okay, if they were at the same angle, yes.
Sorry, what do you mean
If
at the
they are
same angle?
parallel to each other, if they are parallel to each other, yes.
Right, okay. So, I'll just ask one more time. The ones
Are
in
they
the
parallel
near
to each other?
The ones in the near foreground curve less, keyword being curve, less than the ones in the distance. Agreed? If we are talking hypothetically about a sphere Earth.
I can see that on the picture that they are the same. Yes.
No.
I'm just trying to pull up.
That's not what I asked. That's why I added hypothetically on a sphere model, the ones in the background curve more than the ones in the foreground. Yes?
Yes.
Right. Excellent. They don't curve at all.
Would you mind telling me where these pictures were taken?
Sorry, you don't seem to be addressing my point. Now you're asking about the location of the picture. Something's been well established for days. So, I'll ask you a question, boss. Why don't they curve?
I need more information on the picture first before I can answer.
Filmed on the moon. They were filmed on the moon, mate.
Why is he smiling?
Yeah, because he knows he's absolutely been obliterated. If they're curved, they're curved. The ones in the distance more so than the ones in the foreground.
It's going to make a difference where they were filmed, though.
Well, I just want to know where those wind turbines are.
So, it's okay, the boss. You've given us all we need. Your concession that they do not curve in the picture because the Earth is flat.
No.
Yes. You don't have to like it, son.
Just give me the answer.
Just stutter, Sonny Jim. The Earth is obviously and observably flat. If it was curved, it would be curved. It's not.
Where was the picture? Are you trying to hide that the windmills aren't parallel to each other? Just like in the 3D model that they were?
Okay,
it's
son.
not relevant to
Okie dokie, Sonny Jim.
what we see.
We asked you to
Of
show us
course
the
it's
curve.
relevant.
We'll just
Of
round
course
this
it's
out.
relevant.
We've gone on this little journey
If
because
they're,
of you,
if they're
boss.
not parallel to
Stop
each other,
talking.
then the angles are different, so then the amount that
Boss,
they
stop talking. We
curve
can
is going
round
to
this
be
out.
different.
We can round this out concisely. Yeah? You said they curve in the picture. They don't.
Answer my question. Where was
I didn't ask you a question, and I'm not interested in yours. The pictures that are on screen do not demonstrate that the Earth is curved. They demonstrate that the Earth is flat.
because I don't have enough information.
You don't have a curve. It's not information that you need, sunshine. It's a curve. That's what you need. You don't have one because there isn't one.
Who took this picture?
Now it's down to the who of the picture. Who cares, sunshine? There's no curve there.
Blatant obstruction, though.
Obstruction caused by a narrowing of the viewing angle. At this significant distance, the viewing angle reduces to almost nothing, and the angular size of the bottom of the turbine is too small to be resolved. That's why we have bottom-up obstruction.
Lies.
When you couple that with the effects of perspective, something which is ignored in the begging the question proof of nothing perspective omitting curve calculator, objects get smaller towards the horizon. When you combine the narrowing of the viewing angle with the angular size reduction at distance, voila, you have bottom-up obstruction with the exact mirroring effects we can replicate in small scale.
Lies.
Not lies, demonstrated ad nausea on this show over many months and many shows.
Lies.
Not lies, just facts, they're pictures. Unless you want to claim like soundly that we're doctoring stuff.
Why is it so hard for you to answer where the picture was taken?
I can show you where it's taken right now if you want to look at my screen.
Go on, Ranty.
No, let's not do it. It's not relevant to the quality or the merit of the picture in hand.
It is 100% relevant.
Go on,
In
get
what
really
way?
angry. Get really angry. I'd be angry too. You obviously love the ball. The ball is your friend, right? The boss. Don't take my ball away. It's not fair. I want more information to debunk these straight lines.
What happens if
the close ones?
What happens if they are parallel then? Then what happens?
Well, then, like in the 3D model, I assume that they were parallel, correct? Or are they exact replicas of
Are you
reality?
watching my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take you to the first turbines.
Terry Davis, do you want to join the panel and you can talk to us all about this curvilinear perspective claim that you're making up? Let's hear about that.
First turbines. Right down the line. Big one.
You're not looking right down the line in the photo.
Yeah, you're clearly not looking right down the line in the photo.
I said I was doing it the same as soundly.
Yeah, that's the lie.
The same as
That's
soundly.
a complete lie. That's a complete and utter lie.
So
are
hang
you
on.
kidding me right now?
Let's say there's a difference. What difference does it make?
What's the lie?
Because
Sorry,
you're not.
What's the lie? What's the lie here?
You said that you're looking at the wind turbines straight down the line. You're
Yeah.
not.
That is
It's pretty
straight down the
obvious.
line.
It's pretty obvious that you're not in the picture, though. That's the thing.
You do realise that they're spaced out more than what they are on sound
All right,
picture,
no
right?
worries. If that's an objection, Ranty, just play the video. Just show him what it. These aren't stills. I don't think these have come from a video.
You are not looking at them straight
It's
down
all right.
the
You
line.
can see the effects.
I
Of
can
looking
100%
through...
guarantee that.
You can 100% guarantee that. How many pictures have you taken, the boss, with a P900 camera?
So they're not even parallel.
How many
Are you
pictures have you
kidding me?
taken with a P900
Exactly
camera?
parallel.
You've just claimed that you absolutely know this to be the effect. How many
Second
pictures
set's
have you
not parallel with
taken
the
with
first
this
set.
camera?
Yes, it is.
Is that a non? The
No,
boss?
it's not. You've drawn a diagonal line right through them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, line,
What?
not curve.
That's
This is
exactly the
bird's eye
same
view,
line.
Riley. You're not supposed
You
to-
have just been exposed and debunked live, and you don't even realize it. You're not even acknowledging the fact that you are lying to us.
Hold on, let's hear it.
Everyone
in
has
detail.
just witnessed the fact that you are lying to everyone.
This is great.
So,
This is great. What? So
And now you guys are
let's
laughing
hear it,
about
boss.
it. This is
What's your
honestly
claim?
great.
Because you
What's your
retarded.
This is
claim?
honestly great.
What's your claim of debunking? So you're claiming that he's saying he looks down the line and he's not looking down the line. Is that your claim to debunking this?
Play and lie.
Oh, really? Wow, my God, these guys are clutching at straws. I absolutely love it. Wow.
I'm debunked. I'm debunked because I'm not
You know
looking
what?
this isn't looking down the line.
You know what, Ranty? I'm going to go with that. That's a wicked debunking the boss. Tap yourself on the back. I would be proud of that.
The picture clearly shows different, though.
The picture shows different. Yeah, what the picture shows is linear perspective on something that is claimed to be built on the sphere of the Earth. But that ain't what we're seeing. We're just seeing linear straight lines, no curves, because it's flat as a pancake.
Obstruction from one to the last one.
So we have a narrowing of the angle that we see things at. And we also have an angular size reduction at distance. Those two effects combine to cause bottom-up obstruction. This is demonstrable in the large and small scale.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. You've demonstrated it, Dawn. You can deny it. We've got a lot of deniers on today.
That's hilarious.
That is absolutely
Nathan
priceless.
Oakley and Ranty exposed.
Yeah, exposed, Ranty, by the boss. Couldn't find a curve, but he exposed you on your not quite down the line. What does down the line mean? Is that a technical term?
You're not
down
looking
the line?
at it. You're not looking at it straight on. Like,
sorry, you used the term down the line. Did you want to go and get a definition of down the line and see where he's lied about looking down the line of something? Because if I imagine a line of people, for example, and I stand just off to the side slightly and look down the line, I wouldn't say I wasn't looking down the line anymore. But you think you've debunked him based on that little bit of terminology, so maybe you want to look at what down the line actually means.
on Google Earth, he showed that his position was in a line with the wind turbines. In the pictures that he took, that is clearly not true.
Yeah, it is. Just get the video, Ranty, because this idiot doesn't understand how perspective works. He's like most globe heads, doesn't understand perspective. It's quite beautiful to watch.
It's literally, yeah, I mean, this is the most retarded blober I think I've ever.
It's great. I'm running a bit longer just to keep this going.
I mean, I've got some still images as well from obviously, you know, this is down the line but slightly offset. You know?
That's not down the line.
It is down the line but slightly offset.
No,
You are not. You are not
down
in.
the line.
You are not in the same line
on,
of
wait,
the wind
wait.
turbines.
Oh, and look at that. That's down the line too.
That's a bit closer to down the line.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, that's a bit closer, but not the same image that he was drawing. That
I know, because I have
Riley
lots
was
of
showing
images.
Do you want to just go back to that image, Ranty? Do you want to just go back to that? Where's the curve in that one?
It's not a long enough distance. I've already explained this to you.
This is getting better. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, the far one is more obstructed than the first one, so.
All of it.
Yeah, there's that's curved too. You know.
Is it far enough to see obstruction,
I
Dawn?
suppose it is curved as well.
Dawn, is it far enough to see the obstruction?
Far enough to see the obstruction.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. This is brilliant. We can see the obstruction of the curve, but we can't see the curve itself. It's just not far enough away or close enough. This is brilliant. But we can see the obstruction, right, Dawn?
Are you laughing at us?
This is the best show ever.
You're laughing at yourself.
This is funny.
I'm crying.
Should we show you what happens if we apply the curve calcs against these targets?
Dawn, you're brilliant.
Is this looking down the length of them, Ranny? This one?
Yeah. It's looking at the same wind farm.
Says, yeah, that's looking down the line.
Yeah, well, essentially it is.
No, it's not.
That looks nearly perpendicular.
Don't you understand? It doesn't.
That looks nearly perpendicular.
Another straight line. Where's the curve in this one?
It's literally.
We can do this all day.
At Barrow wind turbines at these ones here on the left, and that's how it looks. And then when you look at these ones, they're much narrower.
Ranty.
You just don't understand. Oh my god!
Just don't pander to him anymore, Ranty. This is the most pathetic debunking I've ever heard.
Ranty.
There's nothing to debunk here, Nathan. It's
Oh,
Ranty's
really?
blurry.
What we have... Oh, I don't mind. I'll say it again. What we have is a perfectly straight, linear line. Now, according to you boneheads, it should be curving in the first set and curving more in the second set. It doesn't, though, Dawn.
It's because they're not parallel to each other.
No, it's not because they're not parallel to each other. You don't get what we're telling you.
You don't understand any of this, do they? Yeah.
No, they don't. They don't understand it.
Ranty, let's put some numbers into this for the Metabunk curve calculator, and let's try and put where the horizon should be. I know there's going to be 2 horizons because there's 2 sets, but we'll just see if any of them are anywhere near accurate. So the first 2 turbines, the first set, how far away from the camera were they?
Oh, I'll have to go and check again now.
That yellow line is so different to the actual photo.
Because you don't understand perspective.
No, it's because you're choosing the wrong place on the Google Maps.
Add that to the list. He's in the wrong place. Ranty, next time you do these pictures, make sure you take them from the right place.
Yeah, because clearly I don't know.
No, make sure that his position on Google Earth is exact with where he is.
Right, Ranty, next time you take these pictures, right, go home first and make sure that you're on the right position on Google Earth when you're out taking these observations. You got that clear, mate?
I've got it, yeah, definitely.
No, just don't lie about it afterwards when you present.
Yeah, we'll add that to the list too. Don't lie about these images, Ranty, right? You say if you see a curve, mate. Don't lie.
12.9 miles to the first one.
12.9 miles.
15 miles to the last on the near ones.
So 3 miles between all of them, and you're expecting to see curvature, or?
No, not 3.
How many times have we got to go through this routine with asshole globe heads? Right, Dawn, are you going to repeat the mistakes of all of your peers? Really? It's not a 3-mile observation. It's a 23-mile observation. Go back and watch. I've got a very good video for you, Dawn.
21.37.
I've got a very, very good video just for you, Dawn. The video is this exercise ball. It's got some Lego bricks on it. It'll make you understand how a 2-mile observation and 20-mile observation differ because you're further around the curve. You understand that? I know you don't understand it, Dawn, by the nature of your question. You said you're only seeing 2 miles of curve, which makes me understand that you didn't understand my ball example. You were worried about scale because you missed the point. Yeah? So try and go back and watch that ball example. Things that are further around the curve have a squared function applied to them. Remember that measurement? 8 inches per mile squared? Well, that squared bit means it gets more curvy the further you go. Yeah, you can see in the pictures, we just got linear perspective and straight lines, no curves at all. So go back and watch that exercise. Go back and watch the exercise ball video, Dawn, because you didn't get it. You're too dumb.
Oh, my God.
It does get more curvy because it's going over the curve.
Isn't it you guys that say it curves equal in all directions?
No, Dawn. You need to go and watch the exercise ball video. Yeah, dumbass? You didn't get it. Too stupid and slow. Watch it in slow motion so I speak like this. As you go further over the ball, it's subject to more curvature. Did you get that, Dawn?
Exponential curvature at that.
Is this looking down the line of them, Randy? This one?
It is, and that's the
one. Oh my God, that's not.
Yeah, down the line, not down the curve. I noticed you didn't say down the curve of them, Dawn.
Right,
why aren't we looking down the curve of them? Why is it we're looking down the line of them and not down the curve?
About, Nathan? I'm talking about looking down the line of the pylon.
Yeah, we shouldn't have any lines. We should only have curves. Why aren't we looking down the curve of it, Dawn?
These front ones.
I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, I am. Why aren't we looking down the curve of it? Why are we looking down the line of it? The straight line, the linear line. Why aren't we looking down a curve? Tumbleweed.
I know you know what I meant.
Yeah, I'm asking you a question. Why aren't we looking down a curve?
I don't know which to say yes or no, or you are.
Not a yes or no. It's why aren't we? Explanation why we see linear, straight lines, not curves.
Because you're not looking down the length of them.
No.
And they're not very far either.
Again, they are very far.
Not from the first one to the last
Ranty,
one.
what's the
It's only
hull?
10 miles.
What's the hull height, Ranty?
The hull height of the near ones.
Yeah.
75 meters.
150, 160 feet.
The further ones disappear. If they're 75 meters, the further one's probably only showing about 40 meters.
See, the one at the very back at 21 miles, the very last one, should be behind 300 feet of curve.
Well, yeah, that one's 20. That one's at 21.3, and this one's at 23.7.
Does that account for the bendy light stuff though? They always claim bendy light, and it's always in their favor as well.
No, because you're not looking at the hidden value. You're looking at the geometric build of these things. So you're looking at the drop value. I had this yesterday with Ranty. You're looking at where they're physically built, not what's being obscured. They want to look at the obscured, and this is why. Because we have a narrowing of the angle working in their favour, making it all seen. That's the only reason why they constantly go to the hidden value. Because they've figured out how perspective works. But this little crack, they haven't noticed. That you can have something that's at a given size, a given height, all in a line, and they're not showing any curve. Forget the hidden value. What about the turbines? The thing that's outside of that narrow band. Well, these should still show curve if they're built on curve. They're not. Because it's not curved. It's flat.
Not just curved, they're vertical. Every post in this image is plumb and 90 degrees from the one adjacent to it. If they were on a curve, they should lean away from each other. That doesn't happen. They're all vertical to each other.
Nah, I don't know.
They should.
No, you're right, actually. You're right. The further around the curve, the more curve it is. You're right. It should be more tilting away. Absolutely. While, again, you could have the same argument and say, oh, in isolation, there shouldn't be any difference between them. But again, as they fall further around the curve, there should be they should fan out. They should. You're right, Jimbo. You are right. They should fan out more.
What would it be, like a third of a degree over this distance?
None of them should be plumb to each other. We should see them fanning away from each other, literally.
It's 1 degree for 69 miles, mate. This is the 20.
Those posts are all vertical at 90 degrees.
So
20 miles
you
away.
expect to see a third of a degree difference in the tilt of the.
Hold on. The 1 degree for 69 miles is meaningless. We don't know what the value of the degree is. What's the value of the degree?
That's the tilt. 1 degree over 69 miles.
How many feet is it in 1 degree?
I have no idea.
Thousands.
I think it changes, doesn't it?
Thousands. So when all you're doing is moving the decimal place by changing the unit.
No, I'm just saying expecting to see tilt is silly because it's less than a degree.
Yeah, and he's saying 1 degree represents thousands and thousands of miles. So you should see, when you scale that thousands and thousands of miles back in terms of the amount of tilt, a severe tilt. It's fanning out, getting further and further over a bend. Jimbo's right.
That's dishonest, Riley.
No, it's not dishonest. It's accurate.
We're talking about tilt.
Yeah.
They're all sharing less than 1 degree.
Can't be vertical. They can't be vertical.
Hello, Flat Earther here is saying we should see that.
Yeah, we should. It doesn't matter if you say it's minuscule. Yeah? It doesn't matter how narrow you make that margin. If it's tilting, it's tilting. I'm just going to say the same about curve. If it's curving, it's curving. If it's tilting, it's tilting. If it's a tiny amount, we should see it. We should be able to measure it.
You haven't got a big enough camera to measure the curve in this image.
Guys. Oh, right. We need the bloody Hadron Collider camera, do we, to see the curve? Yeah, that's because it's not there.
Yeah.
And it's not there.
And measure vertical.
And it would help if you look down the length of them as well.
Nathan, can I know that I'm screen sharing at the minute. I'm just showing that these are all actually still vertical. There's no change in that pitch of.
It's less than 1 degree across the whole lot from one to the last one.
Yeah, 1 degree.
You're
still
saying
vertical.
Less than 1 degree of tilt is a tilt. There's no tilt.
Not that you're going to see on this crappy camera.
Yeah, we're back to this again. So there should be a curve, but we can't see it because of the resolution, because of the camera, because of the location. Where was this taken from again? We're asking about tilt. You're saying there should be tilt. There isn't.
No, I'm saying...
Yeah, you're saying it's only this amount of tilt. So there should be tilt. There isn't.
You can see less than 1 degree over
Nathan, listen.
Pylons.
Nathan, the Hope height is 160 feet. Cut that roughly in half, gives you down to 80. Cut it in half again, gets you down to about 40. Cut it in half again, gets you down to 20. There should be 27 feet of hidden if they go with the refracted hidden value, which is arguable whether you should or shouldn't. But eventually, what my point is that we're seeing the whole of the turbines, and we're not seeing any obstruction at the bottom.
What?
In other words,
look at those blue lines disappear from one to the next.
These lines, are you on about here, Dawn, where they go over the curve here? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's on the orange bit. What do
So
you mean?
would you agree that if they're going over, Dawn, would you agree that if they're going over the curve, then they've got to do it on the top as well, right?
What?
If they're going over the curve at the bottom, they've got to be going over the curve at the top as well, right? So we should see, if you're right, we should see a curve.
He just said, "What do you mean?"
No, I'm saying they're exponentially disappearing behind the horizon from the bottom. The top's going down as well. They're all disappearing, bottom first.
Yeah, there's a narrowing of the viewing angle. I've said this 3 times to you, Dawn. You're just deaf or dumb or both. The angle to the bottom of these turbines narrows with distance. You say the curve increases, even though we don't see a curve, but the angle does definitely narrow. Again, something completely ignored in the begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective omitting curve calculator. It does not account for viewing angle, but that is why things disappear bottom first.
No, that's a lie.
You don't think things compress near the horizon then?
They don't disappear bottom first, they get smaller.
They do. It's on screen right now, and there is the effects of this mirage layer, and we know unequivocally that their angular size reduces with distance. All these things are true, not a word of a lie. You can get angry and talk over me all you like, Dawn. We are not lying, we are stating matter of fact. You don't have to like it.
There's no angular difference in size really in this image.
Yes, there is. As you look down anything, the angle reduces, you dumbass.
But they look the same size in this image.
Sorry, dumbass. Was that an acknowledgement that as you look down these poles, the angle reduces or not? Dumbass.
I'm saying you can't see that really in this
Yeah,
image.
you're just saying stuff because you're a dumbass. So are you going to acknowledge that the angle does reduce as you look down something, dumbass? Or are you just going to ask another question?
That has nothing to do with obstruction.
Yeah, it does. Things obscure from the bottom up because there is a reduced viewing angle to the bottom. There is also an angular size reduction at distance. So, Dawn, the angle does decrease on the bottom of things. That is a fact, not a lie, as you stated, dumbass.
It doesn't obstruct things from the bottom.
Yeah, it does. I'm going to keep saying it. We figured it out. You don't have to like it.
Nathan
See
Oakley
what we're
was
showing here?
gassing at the Jews.
You see this?
Yeah. What am I showing?
The compression zone.
Oh, yes.
The compression zone. Oh, my God.
Well, he says that things don't compress at the bottom, at the narrow angles.
Did you come up with that
Doesn't
term,
happen.
Manny?
I certainly did. Do you like it? Because it pretty much shows.
Yeah, it's silly.
Yeah, but look how it's compressing the bottom of the boat, mate. Look.
Called a mirage.
That's a mirage. What, it crushes it? It compresses it. That's the Stena line all there with the orange part of the boat underneath, right? And there's
Got a troll in the back chat. Still there, Anthony?
I can't get in there today.
Oh, lost half the panel. Marvellous.
It's more like dealing with outright denial.
Isn't that absolutely
and
fantastic? So get to a point and we lose basically the entire panel to trolls and Dabby Dozy. I think I might use that as an opportunity to actually round out the show anyway, because it's been going for about an hour and a quarter of an hour longer than I liked, just because it was fun humiliating the boss. But yes, I think with that I probably will say, first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. And of course, a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. If you hated the show, you know exactly what to do, but if you like the show, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you have not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!